It was the kind of conviction that made headlines instantly. Everyone agreed something felt wrong. Too fast, too clean, too unbelievable. A respected bank manager, known for discipline and a spotless record, suddenly charged with stealing millions and vanishing into thin air. The public called him greedy. The police called him brilliant. But those who knew him whispered that something about the whole thing just didn't add up. His name was Daniel Cole, 42 years old, married, 2 children, a man whose entire life had been built on routine, responsibility, and order. Every morning he left home at 6:30. Every night he returned at 8. He worked long hours, barely took vacations, and never missed a deadline. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't loud. He wasn't the type of man anyone imagined would become the center of the most confusing bank heist in the country's history. The story began on a quiet Thursday morning. The bank opened as usual. Staff signed in. Customers formed their lines. Security carried out their checks. Nothing unusual. Nothing suspicious. Nothing that suggested that within hours, the bank would lose nearly $3 million without a single alarm going off. When the system flagged the missing funds, the shock was instant. Panic spread. Managers rushed into the vault. Security replayed every camera angle available. The vault hadn't been forced open. No one suspicious had entered. No staff member had accessed the restricted area. No device had been hacked. The money had vanished silently, almost gracefully, as if it simply stood up and walked away, and then someone noticed it. The last person recorded near the restricted server room was Daniel. Calm, quiet, walking with his usual steady pace. He wasn't sneaking. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't looking over his shoulder. He swiped his access card, entered, stayed for 7 minutes, came out, and left the bank for lunch. He never returned. At exactly 12:45 p.m., his phone switched off. By 1:10 p.m., his car was found abandoned near a construction site. By 2 p.m., an arrest warrant was issued. By 5 p.m., the news was everywhere. The perfect employee was suddenly the perfect suspect. But the inconsistencies started piling up almost immediately. Daniel hadn't taken anything from home. Not clothes, not documents, not money. His bank accounts were untouched. His passport remained in his drawer. His family had no idea where he was. His phone records showed no unusual calls. His emails were clean. His door camera revealed nothing except him leaving for work like any other day. There was no sign of planning. No sign of panic. No sign of a man about to steal millions and vanish forever. Police insisted he was guilty. The evidence was clear. The timing was too perfect. The access he had was exclusive. But even the lead investigator admitted privately that something about Daniel's disappearance felt wrong. And then, 3 days later, the twist exploded. At 3 a.m., a gas station CCTV camera in a coastal town hundreds of miles away captured someone who looked like Daniel. Same build, same height, same glasses, but the clothes were different. The hair was shorter, and his expression was blank, almost robotic. He bought water, walked out, and disappeared into the dark. When the footage aired, Daniel's family insisted it wasn't him. The voice was missing. The posture felt off. His wife cried on live TV, begging people to look closely at the footage. She said the camera showed a man pretending to be her husband. A man who moved like him but didn't feel like him. The internet erupted. Theories spread like wildfire. Some said Daniel had been kidnapped. Others believed he had been forced to execute the heist. Some said he had been framed by someone inside the bank. And a few believed someone was impersonating him to throw investigators off. Things spun further when investigators tracked Daniel's access card to a hotel room registered under an alias. Inside the room they found something chilling. A laptop showing bank login details, offshore accounts, and a transfer record matching the missing funds. The room looked staged, almost theatrical, with evidence placed too neatly, too obviously, as if someone wanted to make sure police found exactly what they needed. And then detectives found something that shifted the entire investigation. Under the bed, lodged between the wall and the mattress, was a small voice recorder. It had one audio file, and the voice was unmistakable. Daniel. He sounded nervous, shaky, and out of breath. He said he was being followed. He said someone inside the bank was forcing him to move missing money into hidden accounts. He said they threatened his family. He said he didn't know who they were. He said he was being framed. And then his voice cracked. If anything happens to me, please protect my wife and children. I didn't steal the money. The recording ended with a loud crash, a gasp, and silence. When the audio leaked, the country froze. The man they were so sure was guilty now sounded terrified and hunted. The bank's reputation came under fire. The executives were questioned. The staff panicked. The public demanded answers. But before investigators could push further, another twist emerged. A boat washed ashore on a remote coastline. Inside was a wallet containing Daniel's ID, a pair of shoes, and a blood-stained shirt. Close to the boat were footprints that led to the edge of a cliff and stopped. Authorities concluded he had drowned. Case closed. Files sealed. But the public didn't buy it. His family didn't buy it. And deep inside, the investigators didn't buy it either. Too convenient. Too sudden. Too perfect. A man accused of stealing millions doesn't leave behind a staged hotel room, a desperate audio confession, a gas station sighting, and then conveniently die in a way that leaves no real trace. Months passed. The bank quietly replaced security staff. Executives resigned. Someone new took Daniel's old position. The stolen money was never recovered. Not $1. And the mysterious figure on the CCTV footage was never identified. It wasn't until a year later that the final, haunting twist arrived. A tourist in South America uploaded a video of a bustling street market. Viewers noticed a familiar-looking man in the background. Same height, same build, same glasses, same calm walking style, and in his arms, a small child who looked strikingly like Daniel's youngest son. The video went viral instantly. People argued. Some said it was him. Some said it was impossible. Some said he had survived and fled. Some said he had been taken. Authorities tried to trace the man but found nothing. No records, no leads, no trace of Daniel, no trace of the money, no trace of the truth. To this day, the mystery remains unresolved. A loyal bank manager becomes a criminal overnight. A perfect heist executed without a flaw. A disappearance too clean to be accidental. A death too convenient to be real. A final sighting too shocking to ignore. Was he guilty? Was he innocent? Was he alive? Or had someone else rewritten his entire life? We may never know, but the lesson is painfully clear. Sometimes the truth is not what the world tells you. Sometimes the truth is buried beneath fear, manipulation, and power. And sometimes the people who look the most guilty are the ones who needed saving the most.